Mm.
Hello. Welcome to the guys featuring Mel her tribe. How are you guys doing tonight?
Hey, hey, hey!
Hello.
What's up, ladies?
Hi.
Hi.
So I just want to introduce my tribe that's on tonight. I have the lovely Ronyetta. Ronyetta, shout out who you
Oh,
are, where you're from. How do we know each
hi.
other?
Hi. My name is Ronyetta Johnson. I live in Columbia, South Carolina, and Mel and I know each other through work, through working at the Limited. She hired me in part time, and we become friends, and we have a good friendship. So, hi, ladies. How are you?
Hey, hey,
Good.
hey!
And next up, we have my baby sis. But thank you, Ronyetta, for gracing the stage on my this podcast for this evening. And I know it won't be the last. Next up, my baby sis. What's up, baby
Hi,
sis?
sister. Girl. Okay, so I'm her baby sister. But I'm grown. She be saying baby like they all do, but I'm the tallest out of all of them. But
Oh,
how do we know each other? My mother saved me the best for last. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I work. I have my own business. I'm a single mother. Um, I'm tired, but I'm here. She said, "Girl, you trying to do the podcast?" I said, "Girl, I am," and so I'm here.
Thank you. My sister is hilarious. I just need y'all to know. And she's a single mom, doing big things in
hey!
Atlanta. So,
Mhm.
All right, T, T. What's good,
Well, you
boo?
officially stayed the best for last. I'm T. Live in Columbia, South Carolina, and Mel and I met about what 5 something years ago through kickball, and since then she's become family, and baby sis is family. So, and little Corey is family. So we all just family around here in
We
these
all
parts.
family, period.
Right. So I just wanted to say what's up to everybody tonight. And tonight's show is basically freestyle on love. It was Valentine's Day this month.
Mm.
End of the month, end of February. We were not able to have our Valentine's Day show because of the Super Bowl. I mean, who would put the Super Bowl on Valentine's Day weekend? I mean, that just doesn't make sense to me. But I still wanted to talk about love, the month of love, February. And so it's just a freestyle topic basically about love. And so I hope you guys enjoy the show tonight. So I'm gonna pop it off. I'm gonna start it off with the first question. And the first question is, do you believe in love at first sight? Like,
Ooh.
I don't I believe in lust at first sight, but I don't necessarily believe in love at first sight. So do you believe you can meet someone in the grocery store, in the club, online, the first time you see a picture of them, you fall in love off of first sight? You can build a life with that person, love at first sight. Love at first sight. What say you, ladies?
I say no. First of all, I'm too skeptical of a person. So I always want to know, like, I have to know more about the person. So I definitely don't believe in love at first sight.
So it's a no for you.
I I
No.
agree. Like I completely agree. I believe, like you said, the lust part, but I believe in it could be like at first sight, like because no matter what people say, the exterior is the first thing you see, so that's your first initial attraction, um, and that has us wanting to know more, see more, um, to get to know the person to the point where we get to know the person, and then we kind of go from there. At least I do, anyway.
Okay.
I
Okay. Baby sister, love at first sight. What do you think?
At first sight, I don't know, cause I've looked at some niggas. I've looked at some, yeah, and be like, I'm just playing now. I don't believe in love at first sight. I do. I do and I don't, because I feel like love is a choice and an action. So if I see somebody in the mall and I'm like, I could love that nigga, I feel like I feel like, again, love is it's an action, it's a choice. So I feel like you choose to love people. Like how we choose to love T into our family. Like we just be like, one day we all got together and said we not loving T no more. It would just be that. So I think if people really wanted to, I believe it. So when people meet
So
somebody,
you think you would see somebody at the mall and you're like, you really say I could love them.
yeah, because
just based on what you see.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Just based on what I see, I can be like, because I've seen some fine ass people at the mall. I'm like, God damn, he fine. I'm like, I can see
I get what you're saying. That's why I say it's like at first sight for me. Like, ooh, I like what I see, so I want to, that initial attraction.
You feel okay? I see what you're saying. You feel the initial attraction. I'm saying because I feel like everybody got a delusional bitch in their mind. So mine, sometimes when I see people, I'm just like, I can imagine a life with him. I could see 2 kids with him. But just off looking at them. But if you're saying based on actually knowing them, you look at them and be like, I could love them. Just glancing, yeah, it's some people I look at them like, I could definitely love them.
Just based off of their looks.
Just based off of their looks, yeah. I mean, because if you're not attractive, I'm not gonna let you talk to me anyway.
Man, listen.
So facts, baby.
I don't know how people do it.
So, Casey, let's pivot into what you said.
But wait, did you hear what she said? I'm not gonna let you talk to me anyway. You heard what she said that, right? I'm not gonna let you talk to me anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're not.
Y'all didn't catch that?
Somebody isn't attractive. Yeah. You're not gonna sit there.
Right. Yeah, right. But I caught the shade a little bit, baby. So
oh, okay. You're not gonna let him.
So, Casey, let's go back to what you said when you said love is a choice. So I like that you said that. So you believe that you don't believe like that love just happens. You believe that 2 people can choose to love each other and make it work. You believe that
I feel like everybody
you said love is a choice. So even if you're not in love with that person, you can
choose to love them
and make it work.
Well, yeah, I love somebody right now. I'm not in love with him. I do love him. I choose to love him, but it's not like I'm not, because I just choose to love him. If I chose tomorrow, okay, I don't like your attitude, I don't like the way you've been acting, I'm gonna stop loving you. Because at the same time, for me, I feel like my love, it has conditions. I know a lot of people like, my love is unconditional and I gave it unconditionally. Nope. No, if you want me to love you, and even if you don't want me to love you, because I love him doesn't mean he has to love me back. But if I choose to love somebody the way I love them, and because I'm choosing to, they present themselves a certain way that makes me say, okay, I want to love this person. But if you start doing all this, you start being disrespectful to me, I'm going to stop loving him, because I'm not just going to be loving you all willy-nilly because you feel like I should, or I feel like I should because I started. Just because I started don't mean it got to keep going. This is not, what is it? It's not a lifetime warranty on my love. It's not. It goes away. It has an expiration.
I like that.
Yeah, Casey, that's crazy, because I don't believe that you can. I don't believe that you can turn your love off. If you love someone, you love them no matter what. Like,
I think that you can definitely
love them.
So I'm going to disagree with you, Mel, because I think that you can turn your love off, but it's not so much turning your love off. Yeah. It's just realizing when you need to walk away.
Period. That's exactly what it is.
So you can still love someone and love someone from a distance.
And just because you love them and you're loving them from a distance, eventually that love fades. Like, my ex, I used to love him. And, somebody asked me today, I don't love him no more. It took a while for the love to go away. But when I was ready to walk away, it didn't matter how much I loved him. That was it. Yeah. And when he started acting a certain way, I was like, okay, I can't do this no more. And I stopped.
So a piece of you won't always, like you said, for me, when I love, like, I don't love often, but when I do, I love very, very hard. Yeah. So even though I might not, things.
Hey T, I'm sorry, you were breaking up. I didn't hear what you said.
I said, when I love it, it takes me a while to get there. But when I love you or in love with you, like, I love very, very, very hard. Like, there's nothing that I wouldn't or couldn't do for you. If I don't have it, I'm gonna make it happen, or I'm gonna figure out a way, or whatever. So, but do you think do you feel like there's a difference from loving somebody and being in love? Because if you're in love with them, do you think you could just cut them off like that?
In love? I've never been in love, so I can't even tell you. I can't speak on anything.
How do you know you've never been in love?
Because I ain't with them no more.
But you can still be in love or have been in love and just not be with the person no more. Hell, I've been in love a couple times and I ain't with the person no more.
I feel like you can love somebody now. I feel like, but if you're in love, you're gonna do what you need to do to fight for the relationship. I mean, but me it's just a difference of opinions, because I feel like again, I haven't been in love, so I don't know what that feels like. I don't know. But when I hear people talk about it, they talk about this undying love, and they knew that this is their person and blah, blah, blah. And I've never felt like that. I've never had somebody where I'm just like, this is who I'm supposed to be with. Nah, even the person I love now, I love him, but I'm not in love with him. Like, God,
so you don't believe in soulmates?
Didn't say that.
So you don't believe in a soulmate?
No, I didn't say that. No,
okay.
No. I believe you.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. So you said the person that you are in love with right now.
You're not in love. I'm not in love with him. I just love him. I'm not in love with him. Yeah.
So, Ronyetta, have you ever been in love? And what's the difference between loving someone and being in love? Because for Casey, clearly there's a difference.
When Casey brought it up, I had to think about that. And I don't think that I've ever actually been in love. I don't think that I've ever.
Right?
And that's scary. That's scary because
it is scary. It is scary to think about that. I don't think I've ever been in love. Like, I've loved, but I don't think I've ever been in love.
Right.
Because I feel like when you're in love,
so being in love would mean you love that person unconditionally, no matter what. Like, what does that? What does when you define being in love? What is the definition versus just loving someone? Because I would want somebody to be with me because they're in love with me, not just because they love me. So how do you say you can build a life with someone if you're not in love with them? And do you fall in love? Do you start off loving someone and then over time you fall in love? I only say that because, I've been divorced for 5 years now. And I know that when I married my husband, I loved him. But I knew that we weren't compatible over time. And I can't say that I felt that I don't know. It's hard. So that's hard. So I'm sitting here trying to contemplate my own question. And I don't want to back talk myself because I feel like I may have been in love, but I don't know. Now I'm trying, I'm like thinking, like, have I?
Yeah, I feel like you would know.
Okay, let me think. Because if you wasn't in love with your husband, why would you marry him?
I loved him. I know, that's too much for the podcast. But I married him because I loved him. But I can't necessarily say I was head over heels in love. I can say that we weren't together prior to us getting married long enough to say that I was in love. I didn't know who he was as a person at his core. And that's why I can say I was not in love with him, because we just didn't know each other long enough. So maybe it is the fact that you have to go through those 4 seasons with someone before you can say that I'm truly in love with that person. So if you haven't, gone the distance, walked the mile with that person, can you truly say that you are in love?
Yeah,
if you don't know them fully and completely. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that you actually I don't believe in love at first sight. So I don't feel like that love just happened instantly. I think that you do have to grow in love with somebody. But for me to be in love with somebody, that means that they're willing to go the depths that I'm willing to go. Like, they're willing to go through all that I'm willing to go through in order for us to be with each other.
Okay.
What do you guys say?
Sorry, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties.
I thought so.
All right. I'm sorry, guys. We're having just a little bit of technical difficulties. So Ronyetta, say that one more time. I'm sorry.
So I said that I feel like you do have to go through some things with somebody. Like, I don't believe in love at first sight. So of course, I feel as though you have to grow in love with somebody. But for me to be in love with someone, I have to know that that person is willing to go through everything that it would take in order for us to be together. Like, there's no mountain high enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, just your ride or die person that's just going to be there for you and you be there for them.
I definitely understand that. I think that I think that at 39 years old, I'll be 39 this year. I think that
Woo-hoo.
I'm in love right now. I think that there are things that I would endure, that I would put up with, that I would accept simply because I'm in love with this person, but I would never put up with it from somebody else. Like when I sit down and I evaluate the men, the dynamics of the relationships that I've been in my life, I have blocked men, I have stopped talking to men for way less.
Yeah.
I got divorced from my husband for
Right.
way less. So when I think about being in love and unconditional love, I think that there is a higher tolerance that you have of people when you are wholly and truly and solely completely in love. But then when you think to yourself, if it doesn't work out, then it's like, was I in love, or was it truly love?
Right.
So I don't
So
know.
do you feel like you're with your soulmate now?
Do I feel like I'm with my soulmate right now? I don't believe in soulmates.
Oh,
I
you
don't
don't
believe in
believe in soulmates.
soulmates.
Okay.
I be-
Okay.
I don't believe in soulmates. I believe that you're with someone is a choice. Like my sister said earlier, it's a choice to be together. I don't believe that there's a one true person out there for you. I think that if you love someone, if you care about someone, you work together to make the relationship work. You work together. It's not. It's not. I don't believe in a soulmate. I don't believe in soulmates. But if
Here you
if I
go.
had to,
Here's the other lady.
yeah, I don't know. I don't
T.
believe in soulmates. I don't believe in a soulmate. I don't. I believe that it's a choice, that love is a choice, that you choose to love someone, you choose to stay together, you choose to make it work. And if I, yeah, I don't believe in soulmates. T, what about you? Do you believe in there's one person out there for you? That one person? T, you might be frozen. I'm not sure what's going on tonight. But Ranietta, do you believe in a soulmate?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know. And the reason why I say that is because I know I haven't met them yet. So it's a possibility that, somebody does, a soulmate does exist. But so I don't know. I don't want to say yes and I don't want to say no. Does that make sense? Mel? Hello? Can you hear me, Mel?
We are definitely having some technical difficulties tonight. I apologize to our lovely viewers. You sounded very choppy just now, but that's all right. We're gonna keep this show moving. You said that you haven't met your soulmate yet.
Right. I haven't. So I don't want to say I don't believe in soulmates because I don't know if it even exists. So
Well, in my opinion, soulmates don't exist, in my opinion, but there are people out there who believe that they've met that one person. And I think that if people do believe in soulmates, I believe as you evolve and as you change as a person, maybe there are different people that are meant to be in your life at that time that you can love or be in love with. I think that again, over time, every 10 years, like you're evolving, you're changing, you're growing. Every
yeah.
year you should be growing, but like definitely that 10-year mark, you can reevaluate your life. The things that you did in your 20s, you didn't do in your 30s, the things that you did in your 30s, you're not going to do in your 40s. And I want somebody, my soulmate, to love me through that, or know that there's a person that's there for me throughout all of my seasons. So I don't believe in soulmates, or one soulmate. And I also believe that you can love multiple people at the same time. I believe that you can be in love or love more than one person at the same time. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think that that's possible. At
Have you
one time, I would
ever?
say, what? At one time, I would say no. I did not believe that it was possible to love more than one person, but I do believe that now.
Do you believe that men believe that more than women?
Absolutely.
So you believe that
Absolutely.
men can love more than one person at a time, but women don't?
No. I think that men and women can love multiple people at one time.
Say that again.
I believe men and women both can love more than one person at one time, and I think that women understand that.
So do you think that but who does it more often? You think women stick to that one person that they love, and men can love multiple women, or like who's the more likely culprit of doing that?
Of course, I'm gonna
Of
say
loving,
men.
being in love, or feeling that way.
I'm gonna say men. Definitely, I'm gonna say men. Because when you think about it, back in our parents' days, you had men who would have families on different sides of the town that they lived in. So yeah.
Right.
So and the women, they would act like it didn't exist. But now I feel like, with our generation, we understand that that is something that's likely to happen. It does exist. And so it's definitely, your choice whether or not that's something that you want to deal with.
So yes, that is a choice. So I will agree with you. Back in the day, there were husbands that, they traveled, or like on one side of town, they had their wife and their child. On the other side of town, they had their little mistress. And sometimes they knew about it. But some women take the stance of out of sight, out of mind, or as long as my home is taken care of, I don't care what you have going on. But I don't know. I feel like in a generation right now where women, we're like, man, bump that. Like, I want my own man. But then you think to yourself, what is this man doing?
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that? Like, Casey, you came back on where we're talking about loving multiple people. Back in the day, men had relationships on other sides of towns, mistresses, wives. And I think that now they do the same thing now, just social media is getting them caught up. I really feel like if there was the era, the age of social media, technology like we have now, like they had back in the day, I don't think those things would have happened, and it would have been so acceptable, because it was acceptable then. The woman, they got taken care of. And now, like, what are your thoughts on that? I know, Casey, you have a whole lot to say on that, honey.
Our great granddaddy, mommy done told us already about Mama Jones and our great granddaddy, her husband. I don't know if you remember, mommy told us, or grandma, somebody told us about how a woman came to the house one time with a baby in her hands, and Mama Jones threatened to slap the mess out of her or something. She came back to the house. So, and when mommy, our great grandma.
Oh, let me finish that story, Casey.
Yeah, finish it.
Casey, let me finish that story. So what happened was, this woman came to my great grandmother's home, call her Mama Jones, my great grandmother's home, with a baby, with a whole baby, and told my great grandmother, "This is your husband's child." Okay. My great grandmother took the baby out of this woman's hand, ran through her in the house, like beat the mess out of her in the house.
Oh my God.
Put the baby back in her hand and sent her on her merry way and stayed with her husband.
Oh wow.
Like that's what women they endured it, they accepted it. I don't know, but I don't know. A woman can't come to me, like when I was married, a woman couldn't come to my house with a baby and tell me that this is my baby. Like, you can't, like the gall, the disrespect, like who does that?
Yeah.
But we've always had fighting blood in my family. Okay, like you just don't come to somebody's house and disrespect them like that. So Casey, that is the story. That's what happened. Yeah. That's my mother always tells it as my great grandmother took the baby out of her hand and commenced to whip her ass. That's actually how my mom tells the story each and every time.
But you know what? For years, the woman would get mad at the mistress.
Yeah. Like, I mean, they still do it now.
Exactly. But it's not the other woman. It's the man who you need to actually have an issue with.
Right. Because he made vows to you. But I had brought up my grandma doing that because up to a certain point, women couldn't even own bank accounts. So I feel like that plays a part into a lot of why women stuck, they stuck beside their man back then, because what else were they gonna do?
Right.
Especially being a Black woman and a woman of color, and we had to fight for everything that we had. So I'm just like that. There's reasons why they stuck around today, especially women statistically are the most educated. We have the most businesses. We're entrepreneurs. So it's like a lot of us feel like we don't have to stick around. And there is a small percentage of little dummies out there that let whatever happen to them, and they just be like, they just happy to have a man. Bless their works. But that just can't be me. At the same time, I understand. Especially how the world is going, people want to have somebody. They want to have somebody. And it's kind of, I feel like the same way when people choose, not saying everybody that chooses religion or choose to love God, but when I start thinking about the way the world is, and I get into into my crises, I start thinking like, damn, like, I don't know what's going to happen, when I die, or what happens when I get older. So I understand why people choose religion to turn to, why they choose someone else to love on. I understand those things. It makes sense. You don't want to feel alone in this world when you really start thinking about how grand the world is and how small you are in this world. You want somebody, you want something grander than yourself to hold on to. So I get it why people choose to love people who don't love them the way they choose to be loved and stuff like that, or why they choose to stick around because they hope for better. And I feel like that's what a lot of women do now. Even back then, even if they could have left, they just hope for better, or how they as long as you take care of me, and I don't care if you cheat or not. Now, if I ever get to that point where I'm with somebody, he got to be making a lot of money. That's all I gotta say. He gotta be making a lot of money for me to be like, as long as you taking care of the house, he gotta make, I don't want to work. He gotta take care of a lot of money. You cheating, I'm cheating. Tit for tat. That's what we doing.
Right. Yeah.
It's not just you cheating on me and you having your fun and I'm at home with the kids all sad and miserable. No, baby, I'm outside.
That's right.
I'm outside.
That's right. Absolutely. I totally agree with that.
But hey, ladies.
Hey,
T.
Sorry, y'all. I had some audio issues. Y'all sound like a little robot.
Yeah, mine cut out too, and I was like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know what was happening.
But me personally,
catch me up.
Okay, so we were talking about if you like back in the day, they had different husbands and stuff like that. And so even talking about our great grandmother and our great granddad, and him having the woman come to the house and that being a regular thing. Lots of people know about their granddads, their great grandfathers having outside families that live the next town over. But it always makes me think like we have family via my great grandfather that we don't know. Oh, wow. because of him and his indiscretions, because he couldn't keep his peace inside his pants. And it also some of our cousins have dated each other. Melise knows it.
Oh wow.
Dated each other, and I think we have like second cousins that have married each other. And I don't know if they're second or third cousins. And I thought that was crazy because it was so common for the grandfather to step out and this, that, and third. And what was also common, which I didn't know until I started like getting older and talking to other women and being in these like groups and everything on Facebook, it was also common for the grandmothers to have a child outside of the grandfather. And if he already cheated and had another family, he just accepted that outside baby as his, and it just was what it was.
As he should. As he should have.
Yeah, it was a whole thread on Twitter one day. They were just like, it was just women talking about their grandmothers or their mothers having outside babies on the dads or the grandfathers, and he just got to accept the baby. I'm like, well, I mean, and that's just what I said. I said it's tit for tat. If you out here hoeing, I'm out here finna be a bigger hoe. Right. If we just gonna stick together and ride it out, okay, tit for tat.
But imagine if they had technology then that we have now. That shit would not have been happening.
No, I wouldn't. That's what we said too. But that's what I was saying, because especially back in the day, women couldn't even. I think to a certain point, I don't know if it was the 50s or the 60s, but we couldn't have bank accounts. So we're in the 50s.
Women couldn't do nothing.
Right. Where was you going? Your man cheated on you. Okay, you finna leave with your 3 kids.
They literally took care of the house.
Right. Where was you going? You was gonna go back to your parents' house, but she lived with her mom. Your parents live with your mom lives with her husband, and she's still trying to take care of. No, you can't. You didn't have nowhere to go. Right. You had to stick with that man. You had to stick beside him, or you had to kill him.
Or just imagine now, like I know my nana, she was her first husband. When she got married, she was 15 and he was 22, 25. So at that age, that's 10 years. That's a big difference at that age.
Yeah, that's a huge gap.
That's disgusting.
Imagine that going on now.
I mean, it does. It does. It still does. Most definitely. I think it's a little 18-year-old girl who Last year, she went viral. It's a little black girl. She's turned 18. She married her godfather. He's like in his 50s.
Oh, I saw that.
He's known that little girl her entire life. You cannot tell me that's not grooming. He groomed that little girl.
That's nasty.
Her family failed her. Her community failed her. I think he got like 4 or 5 kids, and she's talking about these our kids. And I was like, that is so sad because nobody in her community or her life stepped in or raised her to let her know that she did not have to do that. She did not have to do that to feel loved and accepted.
Yeah.
You know why? Probably because whoever he was, probably took some responsibility off, her real parents. People, they want the benefits of having a child, but they don't want to be the parent.
Period. Oh my gosh, that's so true.
9 times out of 10, that's what it is. Yep. They want the accolades of the mom and dad, but they don't want to do what they got to do to be a parent.
Yeah,
at all. Ever. I definitely understand that, T. But guys, I want to pivot back to women accepting other women back in the day and now. So right now it would be called monogamy versus polyamorous, right? Because if a woman is accepting the situation or the other relationships of other women, that their man has another woman, then they're okay with living a polyamorous lifestyle.
No, it's different. If your man is stepping out and cheating and y'all chose monogamy, that's different as of y'all walk into the relationship and y'all are both saying, I'm polyamorous. We're entering into a poly relationship. These are the boundaries for our relationship. And this is what we will and will not do inside and outside of the relationship. And that's how that's going to be. It's not okay. We're together. And all of a sudden he throws it on you. Well, I like dating other bitches. And you like, well, we can date other bitches, but it's not like
no, ain't no we.
But once you decide to stay, but once you decide to stay, then you're choosing to be polyamorous. You may not have gone into. You may not have gone into the relationship, the situation. He may have stepped out. You may not have known that he had a baby mama that he was still dealing with, that he was married or whatever the situation was. But once you decided to stay and you didn't walk away because you were in love or you fell in love, then you were choosing a polyamorous lifestyle. At that point, it is your choice because you know
you were choosing to be a dummy. Because if a nigga, I feel like you were manipulated, honestly. Like you have
choose to let him do what he wants to do with them and you.
Yeah, because that's not, you can't start a relationship off on lies. Because if he knew when he started that relationship that he wanted to be polyamorous, and then it kind of just either he sprung it on you, you fell into the situation, and he wasn't honest, nothing good can come from that. Because again, I know plenty of people that's in a polyamorous lifestyle, and that's not what they do, especially here in Atlanta. Everything starts off with honest and open communication because there have to be boundaries set in place. And if there are boundaries in place, and you guys have those boundaries, and once again, if he steps outside of them, like every relationship has boundaries, but especially with polyamorous, it's a certain level of openness and honesty you have to have, or that shit is not gonna work. It cannot.
Isn't it like a community? It's like a whole community in Atlanta, right?
It can get real messy.
Whole polyamorous community, like people will come to you, like, yeah, I'm poly, and you already know what they're talking about, and they'll either introduce you, either they're single and they're poly and they're trying to join into a relationship, or they already have their relationship and they're looking for a third or fourth. Like some people, they even get homes together in their polyamorous relationship here in Atlanta, and they'll live together and just raise their kids like that. Or the women will live together, or you know what I'm saying? Like, so and again, it's a level of open honesty. And me and my ex couldn't have that because he was so up on the poly thing. You know, we were dating outside, dating other people, and as soon as I decided, okay, I'm gonna start dating men, I'm gonna start dating all these different people, he was just like, well, I don't like that. He was trying to be in my ear, like, I don't like that, or I don't like you going out doing this. But when you walk into the relationship, this is what you wanted. I never took advantage and did it. I never opened myself up. But when I was ready to, then he had an issue. And I find that that's what a lot of men, one, they're manipulative. Two, they're narcissistic. Two, they don't really mean what they say. A lot of them, when they say they want to be polyamorous, they want to fuck other bitches, but they don't want to
I mean, yeah.
That just is what it is.
They want to cake and eat it too, but they want you to sit home and let them do what they want to do and be okay with
somebody
it.
That's honestly polyamorous, because I know a good bit of people that's polyamorous. Like I'm talking about open and honestly, and will introduce you to their spouse. They'll introduce you to their girlfriend. They'll tell you this is who she is. She's important to me. She matters to me. And that will be that. And you'll just join in the relationship. Like she might call you. She might contact you, see how you're doing. He might contact, you know what I'm saying? It is a family. Community. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's not, he fucking bitches. He says, well, I want to keep fucking bitches. And you say, well, I guess I got to stick beside him. Nah, bitch, move the fuck on. Let him fuck whoever.
Because in the poly community, they don't just sit around and have a bunch of orgies and stuff like that.
Nah.
The guy does with whoever, and the girl does with who they like, right?
And sometimes
you got 4 or 5 people in one bed.
Right. It's separate. It's different cultivated relationships. It's not just one. Okay, it's one man and 3 different women, and they all surround him. It might be one man, his wife, his girlfriend. His girlfriend has her husband. His wife has her boyfriend or her girlfriend, and they may, all get together and spend time. But it's cultivated relationships outside of the husband. It's not everybody revolving around the man. And when men do stuff like that and they say, oh, I'm poly, and everything revolves around the man,
they don't even know what it. They don't know the name of it. They just think I got more than one bitch.
It's selfish, and they got their dick everywhere and everybody else. That's all that is.
All right, so we just had a basic, brief overview and history of polyamory and monogamy. So, could you be polyamorous, or are you strictly monogamous?
She said no.
I'm monogamous. I'm monogamous. I couldn't. I don't like to share. I believe in building and growing with just one person. I don't knock nobody else for what they do, but that's my preference.
Cool. When everybody respects your preference. Casey, what about you?
Monogamy
or poly?
Oh girl. I don't know. I really don't know at the stage I am right now, because I've done the whole, like I said, me and my ex tried it. It wasn't, that's why I know it's not gonna work if it tries to be anything other than open, honest communication. It's not gonna work, because me and him couldn't work because we didn't have open, honest communication. And as of right now, if the nigga I love wanted to be with me and we decided, cause you know what I'm saying, we decided to be together, and he's just like, but I want to date other people, I'm gonna tell him to get the hell on. Cause that's just not the stage that I'm at right now. I don't want to really be with nobody at all right now, but it definitely, if you want to be with me and say, well, let me just fuck other bitches. Please, just go fuck with me. Just leave me and my coochie out of it.
Because the person only does what you allow them to do.
This is true.
Yeah, exactly. Go do what you need to do. I can't. Me and my baby dad used to do that. I was like, you can go fuck whoever you want to. I was like, but it's just not, my coochie not gonna be involved. And he was just like, dang, so you just gonna stop fucking with me? I said, yeah. And so he decided to lie and be like, he wouldn't mess with nobody else when he was. And that's why I just feel like you can't give men choices. You can't. As soon as I found out he was, I didn't even find out, I felt it. I said, this nigga's fucking somebody else. And I cut him off, and he was fucking somebody else. So
because intuition don't lie.
Intuition do not lie. It was just a feeling. Yep. I said, he's fucking somebody. And I cut it off, and he true enough was. He was. So you know what? I can't do it because niggas lie, and that's too much trust in a nigga, so I can't.
I just feel like it's too much work.
Thank you for your truth, Kirsten. I appreciate that.
My name is Kay.
Rayetta, poly or monogamy?
Monogamy. Yeah, I definitely. Monogamy. It has to be a monogamous relationship. Yeah. Whatever happens after I choose for us to be monogamous, whatever comes out, then that's a whole nother situation. But I choose monogamy.
Okay. What do you choose, Miss Cook?
So, see, here's the thing. When I was younger, I believed in that fairy tale, that one man, that one woman, all those great things. As I've gotten older, I could be open to a poly life. I can be open to it, given that it is open and upfront from the beginning, that the boundaries are set, that I have a desire to be the number one. Like if I ever decide to have that lifestyle, to live that lifestyle, I wouldn't be the second person. The person that I choose to be with, or my partner, my partner, whoever we brought in, if that's something that would happen, would understand that we have a bond that's unbreakable. This is our life together. We are including you, and understand that he's never leaving. He's not going anywhere. And I think that,
I'm just
Can I finish before you have your point of?
Go ahead, because you already know I got something to say. You already know.
And so, but here's the thing: that's just the idea in my head. I'm not saying that this is something that's gonna work. But if I was to have or live a poly lifestyle, those would be the boundaries that I would have to set. Like this young lady, if you come in, listen, this is my husband. Okay, I know that's not the way the poly life works.
As long as you know,
that's just how I feel.
But my thing is,
so you got to change the
those
name.
not boundaries. You're not living in
poly.
reality. They're not realistic.
You have to change the name of what you want.
But my thing is,
I thought about that because I was having Casey, I was having this conversation with somebody else, and they told me I don't have realistic expectations.
You don't.
They said that's not.
You don't. You're never gonna get it. I mean, I don't want to say you're never gonna get it. But you just have to be realistic, like into real life, not be like, because again, because I also believe in polyandry. You know, that's having. If I were to do the poly thing, I would want to have multiple husbands. I like women, but not enough to be like, I want a wife or something like that. Now I want 2 husbands. Yes, I want 2 men to do 2 men to go up to work. Okay. And if I were to have that, I wouldn't tell either one of them, be like, this is my husband, he's number 1, you're coming in, you're number 2. You treat them both equally. Y'all are both my husbands, and I love y'all equally. And I want this to be an equal partnership between all of us. Y'all, they'll have to have a relationship, like, but they don't have to, you know what I'm saying, get together and mess with each other. And it's just, everybody has to have equal respect. And I feel like that's where your reality isn't connecting, because if he's treating her as second or less than because you're first, there's a lack of respect. And I don't know any woman that's going to allow somebody to treat them lesser than to big up somebody.
So I'm not saying treat her less than, but understand that this is my husband and he's not leaving me for you. He can love you the same, but this is our household. This is our unit.
Nobody goes
into coming in, and you're welcome to leave when you want to leave.
But nobody goes into a poly relationship and think, oh, I'm going to take her man because that's her husband, but I'm coming. They don't do that.
Yeah, because they're already consenting to sharing each other.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your mindset's not even in the poly. Your mindset's not there. That's that you're not in reality. Because a lot of women that are fully poly, they're not coming in trying to steal your man. They're trying to share that.
That's
man
more of a threesome, menage a trois type.
Yeah, you don't have the mindset of poly. You don't really want poly.
So no, you got to come up with maybe I don't.
But I'm glad we're having this conversation so we can work through these things.
Yeah.
But you kept saying. You kept saying that she would have to understand, she would have to know, she would have to do this. No, that's understanding you and your partner would have to know. It's not her responsibility to make sure y'all are on good terms. It's y'all's responsibility to make sure, you communicate, you trust one another, you put in all the work. She's just there as like a treat almost, but you're thinking more of a sexual act, more of like a threesome than an actual relationship. I'm really not though, because I don't have I'm not thinking of it on a sexual aspect, because the beginning when I said we, as long as me and my husband, we have that unbreakable bond, like we already know what we have and we're strong and we're secure in what we have, then I could be open. But here's the thing. What I said from the beginning was I could be open to the conversation, but in my mind, that's how I want it to work. Not saying that that's the right way or that's the way it's supposed to be. All I'm saying is I'm not so closed-minded that I wouldn't entertain the idea of living a poly lifestyle, given that everybody agrees and there's a mutual level of respect. I'm open to the idea of talking about it. Not saying that I would actually do it, but I'm open to the idea of just what does that sound like? What does that look like on everybody's part? So Casey, I'm glad that you explains it, and you're like, you don't have that poly, you're the poly mindset, you're going into it the wrong way. And I very well could be, but I do know that I'm open to the idea. I do think that 2 is better than 1. 3 is better than 1. 3 is better than 2. So you think about finances, you think about emotional support, you think about raising children together, you think about having that unbreakable bond with your husband and with your partner. Like I can get down with that. We already talked about loving multiple people. So if you can love multiple people, then you should be able to love
two husbands. You should be able to love a husband and your partner. You should be able to love just your husband if you believe that you can be in love with multiple people. The question is, do you want your spouse or your partner to love someone else as well?
I mean, I think that is
So
totally.
it's either they're gonna go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, I think that that's the beauty of adulthood. That's the beauty of, you know, us being able to make the choices for ourselves as to what we want. So I think that what you're looking for is possible. But like T said, that's a conversation that you have to have with your partner. You and your partner have to be solid and have that understanding. And whoever else you bring into the situation, then you bring them in, but you and your partner understand what it is. It doesn't necessarily have to have a
so
title
that's the
to
point
it.
I made from the very beginning. So you're right about that. As long as
It
we
doesn't
have
have
an
to have a title.
unbreakable
It doesn't have
bond,
to be
there's honest
poly. It
trust and
doesn't have to be.
understanding.
Yeah.
But I'm also just saying that I'm sure you might find a woman that might be down for her being second and you being first. But you're not gonna
It ain't
find
gonna
a
last
good
long
woman.
though.
Yeah, when it's not
So
gonna last
I
long,
guess
you're not gonna find a good woman that's gonna add into the relationship, that's gonna be long lasting, that's gonna help cultivate something stronger for a community base. Because I've never met a good woman who thought to herself, I'm okay with being treated lesser than a second, even though you say you're not. She's not going to be treated lesser than that. But hold on, please. If you're saying I'm number one and she has to know I'm number one, that sounds like this is my place and this is her place and she needs to know her place, right? And okay, that again, that's not how that works. I'm just saying that it sounds like a lack of respect for the second person coming in, and don't no woman want that. That's all I'm saying. If I was a second woman coming into a relationship and I've been asked, I can't tell you how many times, and it even feels like the woman feels a certain type of way about me coming in, and I speak to her without him, and she's just like, well, I already know it's not gonna work because you're trying to compete with me. And it's not a competition. Like it's a community.
Because don't poly, you know, each woman has their own house, and like the husband goes and spends a night with each one and stuff like that. Y'all not under or like one night when y'all are in the bed and then the other woman's in the other room, you know, or if it's her turn to have him that night, what are you gonna be thinking? Because you're not gonna be. It's like one big relationship, but also separate relationships too, right?
It's separate cultivated relationships, and I think that's where it's getting lost.
I think people think of poly like, oh, I just have multiple sex partners and that's what it is, but it's deeper than that.
Yeah, separate relationships, separate intimate relationships. Like it's a lot of intimacy involved with it, and I think that's where it's. I just feel like you don't have the mindset of it. I know you're saying that's just what you're saying, what your boundaries would be, but I'm just saying, knowing people that's in it and that's long lasting for years, that's been working. I'm just saying that's
so I definitely understand, and I don't like to backtrack. So I am going to backtrack. So when I say that, as long as they know I'm number one and they're number two, I mean it in a sense of with my husband. Like I would never want to make them feel like they are number two. But again, I think that the point I was trying to make was, as long as that bond with my husband is unbreakable, that I know that he loves me and I'm secure and I'm safe in our relationship, then I wouldn't have a problem. When I say I wouldn't have a problem, I would be open. I would be open to the idea of adding another intimate partner, not necessarily sexually, but emotionally as well, because, you know, finding that friendship, that unbreakable bond that he can have, that I can have. And I don't know, again, it's a conversation I'm willing to have.
Right.
Given if it was right with my spouse. Does that make sense? Like, it's a conversation. I'm open to entertaining the idea.
I got you.
Like learning more with studying more about the lifestyle and how to love, because that's the love of loving unconditionally. To be in a polyamorous lifestyle, to be poly, you have to love unconditionally. You have to love your spouse unconditionally. You have to love that other person unconditionally.
You don't gotta love nobody
that's the only way that it's gonna work.
You do not have to love nobody unconditionally. But that's just me though. My love has conditions. You can't do whatever to me and think I'm gonna keep loving you. You can't. Because again, that comes with boundaries. If I set a boundary between me and our relationship, and you step over those boundaries, and I give you a warning, I'm say, hey, this is how you made me feel when you did this, and you did it again, I'm not gonna keep loving you just because I loved you on Thursday. That's not how that works for me.
Damn. Well, damn.
I'm not. That's not how that works. I've done it, and it doesn't help anybody. It leaves me hurting, and it leaves me
Yeah, I
soaking, and
feel
it leaves
you.
me feeling away. Because if you say you love me, and I say I love you, and I'm
Then you
saying
won't
you're
hurt me.
hurting me,
Yeah.
what you're doing is hurting me,
That
and you
love,
continue to
yeah,
do it. That's not love.
that
That's
love
not me.
heartache is the worst heartache
I'm
to
telling
have.
Man,
you. I'm
listen.
telling you.
So when do you walk away? So let's talk about that. So can you be so in love with someone, but then you know that, or that you love someone so much, but then you, at what point in time do you choose yourself and you just walk away from it?
For
See, I
me,
know you were in a situation, and I
oh,
don't
go
want to
ahead.
put your business on blast, but you called your ex out a couple podcasts ago. So
Yeah.
I
Oh
mean,
God.
y'all, when I say T called this girl out, okay, T called. I think she might have called this girl her government name. So I don't mean to put you on
Uh,
blast, but I know that you definitely had to walk away and step away from a relationship recently. And you were, did you love her? Were you in love with her? And when did you know your time was up and it was time to walk away?
I mean, I still love her. I still, I still love her very much. I mean, I put my entire life in the palm of her hands. Like that's how safe she made me feel. That's how secure I felt. To the point where, I proposed. I up and, left South Carolina and went to Georgia, where I was literally there 8, 9 days, I think, if that. And June of this past June, when I left Georgia, I haven't seen her since. I mean, just cut me off. That's, they had their own other things going on, and when it was brought to their attention, of course, it was lies being told. It was never honest. So at some point, you're like, damn, am I tripping? Am I the one that, you know what I mean? Is the way I feel, is what I'm seeing, and is my mind playing tricks on me? Like, am I the issue? Like, what's going on? But um, sometimes love blinds us from that, or it allows us to put shades on, so it's, the impact is not so bright. We see it, but we don't necessarily want to see it, because we love them so much. And I wanted it to work, and I mean, I literally loved her unconditionally, where I was like, okay, we can get through anything. I mean, that was my best friend. We talked about anything. There was nothing we couldn't talk about. There was nothing we didn't talk about. And I've never ever been with somebody that made me feel so safe. And that's big for me. Somebody to make me feel safe and protected and loved so deeply. But I don't know if I necessarily would have walked away had, they just stopped talking to me. But I think I'm the type of person, I can deal with a lot, but when I get tired, I'm done. I'll try to fix it for, until I hit that wall, and I'm like, shit, I can't do nothing, because you get tired after a while. I mean, you can still love the shit out of somebody, but how much are you just gonna neglect yourself to give them all their wants and needs, while you're fucking, you know, depreciating, in every way and aspect of fucking life, to the point they don't even value you anymore. You don't value yourself. You don't love yourself. I mean, you go through all those stages and you wonder, is it me? What did I do wrong? I battled with that a lot. Like, damn, what the fuck did I do? But now, looking in retrospect, looking back at everything, I mean, I'm not perfect, but I'm fucking worth it. You know what I mean? And there was nothing I could, like, I don't understand that. Like, I would have been, okay with, hey, I met somebody, or I was still talking to such and such while the whole time we were together, and or whatever. Like, you took the ring, you said yes. Like, we planned a whole life together. Like, I don't see how somebody, I don't play with shit like that. I don't play when it
Yeah.
comes to love. I don't play when it comes to somebody's feelings and emotions. And I'm damn sure if it was the other way around, I would not have let them uproot themselves from one state to move with me if I wasn't sure that's what I fucking wanted. I'd have been like, nah, like, I let go of my place. I didn't renew my lease. I even sold all my fucking furniture except for my bedroom suite. and the clothes
Wow.
and shoes and shit that I had. I was literally there 8 fucking days. We got into an argument and she was like, I don't know why you here anyway. And I'm like, what? Like, I ain't beg. I'm not gonna, one thing about it, I'm not gonna beg nobody for shit. I'll sleep in my fucking car before I ever beg somebody for a pillow and a blanket. So
Wow.
that was,
I hear that.
I'm just glad I'm in a better space. You know, like, cause if I was younger, that shit probably would have tore me all the way down. I ain't gonna lie to you. But you know, I still think about her, I still miss her. And you know, I think I hold on to those moments of love when shit was good. I think everybody, I think that's just human nature that when we miss somebody, we hold on to those moments of love, and we want that feeling back. You know, I'm not gonna say she's a bad person, but she did do me fucked up though. Golly, you know. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I
So,
still
question
believe in
for you.
love. Okay.
So you decided to walk away when you knew that you had to love yourself more. So you had to just walk away and let it go. But
Yeah.
a side note, a side pivot to that question: do you wish that you never met her, or do you feel like you needed to experience that level of love? Like, you know, they say, is it better to have loved and lost and never to have
Never to have
loved at
loved at
all?
all. Yeah.
Do you feel
Right.
like it was better to
So
never have loved her or have known her, or to feel that love and embrace that energy, and had to
so
let it go? Like, are the memories enough, or you wish you never met her?
I mean, when I was like really hurt and confused, I was like, you know, I mean, of course we think that or we say that, but now, you know, that I don't have to have the band-aid on anymore, you know, because before I met her, I was single for a while. But I learned two very, very important things. First thing is I know I'm capable of loving, and I know I'm capable of being loved. So, but I'm thankful for that. I needed that, and I needed to know what that true feeling of being loved felt like. And no, I'm happy I met her. I am. I don't regret it. I wish I personally would have made better decisions. Um, but you know, when we're in love, a lot of times we think with our heart and not with our head. And I tell people all the time, your head is over your heart for a reason. You think with your head, not with your heart, because a lot of times that heart and the heartbeat get you in trouble or make you do some shit that you necessarily wouldn't do if you think with a clear head. But no, I mean, I wish her the best. I mean, I'm thankful I met her. You know, that's a type of love that I think I'm not gonna say I'll compare the next to, but that butterfly feeling, I think we always chase that feeling of love or being loved. And I always said, you know, before my eyes close, I want to experience that feeling. And it might have been for a short period of time, but I can say I experienced that feeling. So
Perfect. Well, thank you for your heartfelt story of love and walking away and loving and being in love. And I definitely think that there is somebody out there for you. You know, we've been friends for a very long time, 5 years now. And so I was with you in the beginning of that relationship, you know, during the
hmm
relationship, and you know, holding you at the end of it. And so
yeah,
and I know
snotty
your
nose
desire
and
and I know
all,
your
girl.
heart. And
Snotty nose
I
and all.
what you listen, it's not on my
Man, Snot would
shoulder.
just come up to Melissa and just be like,
But I know that you are worthy. You deserve true love, and I know that there's somebody out there for you. Like I said, I don't believe in the soulmate, but I believe in compatibility. Okay, there's somebody out there that's
okay.
compatible with your love language. That is for you. That is going to accept you for who you are, and all the unconditional love that you have in your heart. Because I know that when you love hard. I know that when you love, you give your all. I know that you love unconditionally. So any woman is lucky to have you, to be with you, because I know that you're going to put your all in, and that's
Man.
going to be it for them. And it's going to
Yeah.
take the right person, whoever that person is. But honey, boo boo, child, it's coming. She is
I
coming.
know it. I know.
And I'm glad that you're in
it.
a space right now that you're able to receive it, because you deserve it. You deserve it, friend.
I appreciate that.
You deserve
Yeah.
it.
Thank you.
So, Ranyetta, hot seat, friend, hot seat. When is it time to walk away from love? When you love someone solely, wholly, completely, when is it time to walk away? And do you believe that it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all?
When is it time to walk away? When you've totally lost yourself in the relationship. Like when you've totally lost who you are and the purpose of you being in that relation. Like, yeah, like T said, like I can definitely relate to your story. But yeah, like when it's time to definitely walk away. I feel like people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Somebody gave me that quote years ago, and I hold true to that. I feel like even friendships, like sometimes you have to know when to let friendships go. But yeah, I feel like it's better to have love than never to have love before. So I don't know. I hope one day I do find that soulmate. I hope I hope that, I end up in love one day, but you gotta love yourself more. So
all right.
yeah.
Well, thank you, Ranyetta. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're
Kay,
welcome.
Miss Kay Brownie, Miss Baby Sis. I already know what you're gonna say, honey.
What?
Do you so when is it time to walk away from, like, you already said that your love is not unconditional, and that's okay. And I'm starting to realize in my life that my love is not unconditional either. I'm trying for it to be unconditional, but like I have a hard time as well. So when is it time to walk away from a relationship? And is it better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all?
Okay, so I'm gonna answer the first one. Is it better to have the second one? Is it better to have love? I feel like it's better to have experienced the love, but at the same time, I wish the love that I did experience was a healthier love. I really do. Only because I learned from it and I know what I won't accept, but I easily also could have learned from it had it been a healthy love. I'm like, okay, that's the kind of love I want to experience again, but this is how I do it differently. Now I just have an experience of that was fucking awful. I'm gonna do better next time. And when is it time to walk away? For me, it was time for me to, I stayed with that man for almost 5 years. It was time for me to walk away a year and a half in. And I feel like I knew it was time for me to walk away, but I was like 20, almost 21. I met him when I was 19. I left when I was like almost 24. And so it was time for me to walk away. And I knew it was time for me to walk away when I was crying and wondering why this man was treating me like that. When all I was trying to do was, be there for him. And I feel like it's a time for you to walk away when you're questioning your actions and your intentions, when you're just trying to be there for them, or your intentions and you're second guessing them. Their actions are saying one thing and then their words are saying another. I feel like that's the time to walk away from somebody. I don't want to wait again, because I've been that stupid bitch. I don't want to wait again until I've lost myself, where I'm trying to figure out why I'm even there. He used to always say, if we're not enjoying ourselves and we're not having fun with each other anymore, then we need to leave each other alone. And we walked away from each other like 3 times before the final time. And the last 2 times I tried to walk away, he begged me, he kept me there. He was just like, we can do different, we could change. Then one of the times I tried to keep him there. And then at the end of it, I was like, why am I doing this? I don't even care about this relationship anymore. So it's just like, and it was right then when I was like, I don't care about this. I don't know why I'm trying anymore. And I was like, what's the purpose? I don't even see myself being with him long term. So why am I doing this? That's when I was like, okay. And I started thinking, I'm like, I knew this 3 years ago. I should have been left this man. And that's when I got him the fuck about my house. So.
Well, thank you, Casey.
Mel, what you say?
I was privy to some of that relationship. So I'm definitely, I was privy to some of that.
Yeah, the family knew what was going on. He should have been left.
What I will say to you as well, and right yet I'm gonna come back to you as well. Casey, you are a beautiful, amazing spirit. I remember you told me when I was your age, when I was coming in and going out and living my best life, and you look at me now, you're like, who are you? Because now I'm a hopeless romantic. But back in the day, I'm like, listen, you don't want to talk to me, you don't want to deal with me, keep it moving. There's always a next.
Right. And I mean, I'm a hopeless romantic as well. I want it to be healthy. That's all. And so if it's not healthy, and that's what a lot of people they think I don't believe in love, or I'm very much a romantic, but I want it to be healthy. I don't want to second guess why I'm here. Right. I don't want us to be good one week and the next week we're not. And some people
like feel like you're the one that's going down crazy.
Right. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And like, we can't have a normal conversation about what's going on without the yelling and the screaming. I know that's not healthy. That's all. I just want a healthy love. I'm a hopeless romantic as well. I want to be in love and be loved on and have little pet names and this and that. But you're not finna disrespect me on Thursday once again and think we're gonna be cool on Saturday with no, we're not doing that.
I definitely understand. And I love your boundaries that you set in place for yourself in your life. And I think that came from being in an unhealthy relationship. And dare I say toxic? I know people want to leave toxic in 2021, but dare I say toxic? And I think that sometimes when you are dealing with unhealthy love and you're dealing with a toxic relationship, when you truly let that go, you know that the next person in your life is going to be right, because you're not even going to let anyone in your space that reminds you, you get a whiff or a hint of what you went through in that past relationship. And you don't even, you don't even allow them to continue to stay. So I know that there's someone out there for you as well. You deserve it. Beautiful energy, beautiful spirit. And I already know that they're going to treat you like a queen, because you are not going to accept anything less.
Period.
Right?
That's right.
Life's too short. The earth is dying.
What'd you say?
I said life's too short. The earth is dying, so I can't accept anything.
The earth is dying. Yeah. And right, the same for you. I hope that you find the love that you desire, the love that, you're such a giving person as well. You're such a fun person. Your energy is so dynamic. Miss New York.
I thought she sounded like you. I thought she did.
Definitely from New York. Definitely from New York. But Casey, when you come back here to South Carolina, we got to invite Ronyetta over. Come over. We'll have some wine. We'll hang out.
Absolutely.
Maybe do the podcast all together from the comfort of my own living room, so we can chat it up and laugh and talk and have a good time. So I'm going to answer my own question, and then we're going to wrap it up, because it's 9 after 9. I do believe that it's time to walk away when you've lost yourself. But then I also think that if you're not ready, even though you know that situation may be toxic or it may not be right, you walk away when you're ready. You may understand fully and completely that you deserve better. You know that, you don't deserve the fights and the arguments. Casey, you said it took you 3 times to walk away for good.
Yeah.
I think that and I may sound crazy, and that's all right. I backtrack sometimes. I sound crazy, but this is an open space. This is a safe space. I think that sometimes you may know a situation is toxic, but you're just not ready to leave. You don't want to walk away for whatever reason you have in your heart or in yourself, whatever that situation is, but it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. And you do walk away in your own time. Whatever your meter is, it could be, y'all hanging out together and you don't like the way that man looked at you in that moment. And that could be it. Or, or he one day didn't call. He said he was going to call you back and he didn't call you back. And then it's like, okay, I'm done. Like, it's a final straw. I think that everyone has a final straw, no matter how small it is, no matter how big it is. And that's when they walk away. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be something very little, but then it's a accumulation of the entire relationship that you're like, I'm done. I can't take it. I can't have it. The disrespect. I deserve better. I deserve more. And T, I do agree with you as well. When you know you've lost yourself, it's time to walk away, because you can't be good for anybody else if you don't even know who you are and you lost yourself in a relationship for a person that didn't lose their self for you. Right. I believe in love. I'm a hopeless romantic at heart. I stay longer than I should in all the relationships that I've been in. My son's father, my ex-husband. You stay longer than you should because you believe you chase those butterflies, those feelings that you felt when you met that representative. The first 6 months to a year when you're with someone, girl, that is everything, y'all. You feel like that true representative doesn't come out. You don't know who they are, what they are, those intimate details until you're in. And so when you get in, they got you hooked. It's like you don't want to leave. And so you chase and you stay for the feelings that you had from the very beginning. But you absolutely have to walk away when you're ready, when you open and you accept and you know what it is and you know it's not changing, and you make sure you don't lose yourself. To answer the question, is it better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all? Listen, I have felt like I've been in love, or what I know that love is, healthy or unhealthy. I wish I didn't feel it, because I know the emptiness that would come when the relationship ends. So yeah, you have memories, and yeah, but if it was real love, if you were in love, that shit hurts. And I don't want to feel that. I don't want to feel that emptiness, that heartbreak, that heartache. So I honestly would have, even though I would love the memories, if I had a choice, I would have chosen to not experience it. And that's just my truth. That emptiness, that the time that it takes to recover from a love that you thought was going to be a lifetime, or you hoped would be a lifetime love. Man, that shit is hard. Like, that's a hard pill to swallow.
We should have talked about healthy attachments and detachments, because I also think that's why people will be feeling like I don't believe in love, because I've just learned how to detach when it's time to detach, or I don't really attach myself fully to people anymore like that. Like I know how to enjoy somebody in the moment and just understand that this is what's happening, and it may end
in this moment,
right? And everything got to end at some point. And I'll love you how I need to love you in that moment. And when it's time to go, it's time to go. And that's
time to go.
Yeah, I think that took a while. So healthy learning and healthy loving attachments and detachments is what we should have talked about as well.
And so and thank you for that, Casey, because what I will say in the future is, if the relationship that I'm in right now, the situation that I'm in right now, it is what it is. But I will say that in the future, that I will make sure to have those healthy attachments and those detachments, and live in the right now, live in this moment, accept what's happening right now for what it is. And then tomorrow is going to be tomorrow. And so I think that I have a lot to learn about love, about myself, about other people, how I respond to things, how things are triggered. And at the end of the day, everyone deserves a love of their own, healthy love, true love. I don't believe that we were put on this earth to walk it by ourselves. And I also believe that love is a choice. So you choose to respect someone, you choose to love someone, you choose to be with that person no matter what, if you so choose to. But when you set up those boundaries, and you know what you want for yourself in your life, you have a choice to walk away if it's unhealthy for you, if it doesn't suit you or serve your purpose. Because one thing I can tell you about a man is going to choose himself every single time. He is going to choose himself. Oh, well, I mean, I could be biased. There are no men on this show tonight, but I've learned in life that men choose them. They choose their happiness. And so as women, we have to learn and start to choose ourselves as well. Have those healthy attachments. Know what you will accept and what you won't accept. And at the end of the day, regardless if you stay in a toxic relationship or unhealthy relationship or whatever situation that you're in, that's your life. You only get one life, and you have to decide how you choose to live it.
YOLO.
So that is my wrap up for the evening.
The longer
Ranietta, do you have a wrap up? We typically do a wrap up for what we talked about tonight. What stood out? Did you enjoy yourself? Would you come back? So what is your wrap up for tonight?
I did enjoy myself, and I would come back. I didn't know what to expect at first. But I enjoyed meeting you, T, and I enjoyed meeting you, Casey, and Mel. Thank you for the invite. So, yeah, I would definitely come back. Thank you.
Yes. Casey, wrap us up. Oh, my goodness.
Girl, I'm so sorry, girl. A single mother's job is never done. Wrap us up. I wanted, I know we're done, but I just wanted to, I also want to mention about how, when we were talking about the poly thing, what I also learned, relationships are good, but cultivating really good friendships where I could actually love my friends fully and wholeheartedly. It also helped when I was ending that relationship with him, when I had other friends to lean on while I was ending it with him. And even, my sisters and family, it helped a lot. So I feel like a lot of people lose sight of having healthy, loving friendships as well. Not in place of romantic love, because you're always going to want that romantic love, but it can ease that, like how you said, that heartache, that loneliness, because it's all love at the end of the day. But that's basically my wrap up. I do choose to love people, and I will take my love away, as you should. Men do it all the time, like you said. They definitely will choose themselves and put themselves first. So I'm on that wave. I'm with the niggas. We choosing ourselves first. Period.
Period. T, wrap us up for this evening. Wrap us up.
I still believe in love. Love is a beautiful thing when it's with the right person that's gonna, choose you, fight for you, be there for you. I believe you can love one person your entire life. Yeah, relationships have their ups and downs, but when you have that unbreakable bond, I believe you can get through anything and everything. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed because I know she's here somewhere.
Did Mel
That's
go
my
out?
wrap up.
Perfect. Thank you. So thank you so much for joining our show this evening. So excited to have you on. Typically we have Merv come on and thank our sponsors for the evening, but I was unable to get on tonight. And so again, I just wanted to thank you all for an amazing podcast. Our Freestyle of Love. Is it better to have loved and lost? Poly, monogamy. And so again, I always enjoy having my tribe on. Hopefully we can do this again real soon. So I don't know if you guys had your little wine or your little drinky drink for tonight. But thank you so much.
All right,
and
ladies,
here's to
have a good
another
one.
lovely show.
Bye. Have a good week.
Good night, guys. Thank you.
Good night.